Hello again. This is a video to demonstrate the virtual environment that you will use for your homework assignments and possibly for your project. This is a short video just to demonstrate how your virtual environment should look like. I have several resources on OAKS on how to install the virtual machines and the software for the virtual environment, and there's numerous resources on the internet as well. And of course, I welcome any questions that you may have or any problems that you may run into. So I am showing over here my Oracle VirtualBox Manager. I'm using VirtualBox. You're welcome to use VMware if you're more familiar with this tool. And as you can see in my screen, I have several virtual machines because I like to experiment with virtual machines. It's a really fun way of sharpening skills and learning new things in pen testing and security. So I have the two virtual machines that we will definitely use in this class, Kali Linux and Metasploitable. And then I have a couple of vulnerable virtual machines, Windows virtual machines, and then a couple of Ubuntu Linux machines, and another exploitable VM called Nebula. So I am going to start up a couple of my VMs so that you can see what they would have to look like. First, I'm going to show you a little bit the settings. So as I mentioned on OAKS, please follow religiously the instructions on the settings for Kali Linux. I know that it works very well, this virtual machine, if you follow the instructions and the settings that are in the detailed guide that I have included on OAKS, but if you do not, you will be in trouble, unfortunately. So over here, my network setting is not the default setting and not the instruction setting. It's the internal network setting because I would like to demonstrate in this short video how to connect to virtual machines, which is going to be super important because, as you can understand, you want to connect between two machines and do penetration testing and all the phases of penetration testing, reconnaissance scanning, exploit, and then covering your tracks. So that's why I have internal network on my Kali VM. And my Metasploitable also has internal network. I can show you the settings over here if you don't believe me. So I just started up the Metasploitable virtual machine. I only use the command line in my Metasploitable. We may look at other exploits. You will have an exploit exercise on the Metasploitable and a scanning exercise just to try a little bit of scanning. So here I've got my Metasploitable login that has a very difficult password and username. The username and the password are the same thing, by the way. I was being ironic. So here we are on our Metasploitable, and then let me start up my Kali Linux also so that you can see what it looks like. Now my Kali virtual machine, I'm using it a lot, and it has saved the last stage that I was doing some wireless experimentation. So, and this is just to also show that you can include your previous state, you can save your previous state. A nice feature of a virtual machine is being able to save a state so that you can pick up your work from where you left it. So I have two virtual machines now on my computer. This is by no means a real network, but it's a very nice emulation of a network operation where I will use my pen testing machine, the Kali Linux machine, virtual machine, to ping my victim machine, which is the Metasploitable, and show that they connect, configure them so that they connect, and then be able to do fun things with Metasploitable, like scan it, exploit it, cover my tracks. So here I have opened the terminal. I'm gonna just minimize the rest of the terminals so that I keep this minimal. So I have my terminal, and then let's run an ifconfig to see what my network looks like. So as you can see over here, I have an IP and the net mask. I have an IP address 10.10.10.1 and the network mask 255.255.255.0. This is a class C network. I always get the classes reversed. And just as a parenthesis here, basic computer networking knowledge will be needed in this class. And if you want to dust it off, I can give you some very good resources, videos and slides so that you can review your basic networks. So here I have my IP and my net mask. I'm going to try to have my exploit machine, make it easy on myself, put it in the same network and the same subnet, and let's run ifconfig to see if they are on the same subnet. Well, my Metasploitable doesn't have an IP address or a net mask, so it only has an IPv6 address. So what can I do? I can set this up with ifconfig. And again, the manual pages are your friend. So man ifconfig if you want to understand better what I'm doing over here. Oh, I didn't type this right. So definitely command line and basic networks, basic command line and basic networks, your friend in this class. So now let's do our ifconfig. And then I'm going to give an easy address, like I said, same subnet, 10.10.10.2 into my Ethernet 0 interface. So my Ethernet 0 interface will be assigned IP address 10.10.10.2 and net mask 255.255.255.0 so that I'm in the same class network, and of course my difficult MSF admin password. So now if I run ifconfig again, you will see that now my ETH0 has IP address 10.10.2, 10.10.10.2 and net mask, the proper net mask. So now let's see if my Kali can ping my Metasploitable so that I have a connection between those two. So ping 10.10.10.2. And yay, it works. So this is important because for your first homework assignment, you will have to run several Nmap and a Nessus scan on the Metasploitable virtual machine. So you need your Kali Linux virtual machine to be connected to the Metasploitable virtual machine. This is it, the short demonstration of the virtual environment and a little bit the beginning of connecting virtual machines. If you do it for one, you can do it for more than one. You can have multiple virtual machines in a super fun experiment for your project. And of course, you can also use the cloud environment that we will be using, Genie, for your project. But this is a great start, and I look forward to any questions and comments that you may have.